Thanks for joining us for the city of Los Angeles.
Civil rights organizations say the Los Angeles Police Department has a history of brutality and misconduct that goes back.
Pictures of Los Angeles police officers beating a man they had just pulled over. The city's police chief said
struck
today
him with batons between 53 and 56 times.
3 of the accused officers were acquitted of all charges, but the jury hopelessly deadlocked on one charge.
Shops and Services restaurant, and the flames are beginning over there. The crowd is moving.
That run?
Federal troops are...
You're blocked by another radio station.
That looks like a structure fire to me.
It sure does. Run down the courthouse. The happening's ready. What you keep is driving right with the truth.
Can we all get along? Can we get along?
Now the story that might never have surfaced if someone hadn't picked up his home video camera.
25 years ago, on March 3rd, 1991, a dramatic and violent encounter between Rodney King and the Los Angeles Police Department resulted in the near-death beating of an unarmed black man by 5 white police officers. Captured on home video equipment from his apartment, George Holliday, a fellow LA citizen, brought a new level of consciousness of police brutality to the attention of the nation. Holliday's video, the first example of citizen journalism, failed to bring the police officers in question to justice, but took a strong stand in history. This visual documentary of police brutality in a city already in a mix of racial tensions led to one of the greatest riots known to modern day history, the LA Riots. Rodney King was born and raised in Northern California to an alcoholic and abusive father. Similar to his dad, King had an unhealthy appetite for alcohol. Over the years, Rodney's drinking became more damaging. He didn't finish high school, and around the age of 18, he entered the penal system by getting arrested and convicted for reckless driving. Shortly thereafter, he was accused of robbing a store and was given a 2-year prison sentence, but was released on parole after 1 year. From 1989 on, King started a decade-long run in with the law, which climaxed on March 3rd, 1991, when King was driving a Hyundai and was being chased by California Highway Patrol and the Los Angeles Police Department, who claimed he was speeding. This traffic violation soon led to the event in question, with King being tasered and nearly beaten to death by LAPD officers Powell, Wind, Brisno, and Solano under the direction and leadership of Sergeant Coon. As a result of being beaten, King sustained a fractured cheekbone and 11 broken bones at the base of his skull and a broken leg. Unbeknownst to them, George Holliday, an Argentinian plumber who immigrated to the United States, was testing his new home video camera when he captured the event from his balcony. Holliday expressed that he did not know what happened to start the beating, but when he came out, he recorded what was happening. For a total of 81 seconds of video coverage, the officers involved struck King approximately 56 times with their batons and delivered several strong kicks to his body. Troubled by what he had recorded, Holliday reached out to his local news station, KTLA. Holliday would then sell the clip to KTLA for $500. Holliday wasn't thinking about civil rights that early morning when he aimed his new camcorder down on the streets, nor did he realize how newsworthy it would become. But from that point on, the clip would spread through the media like wildfire and was broadcasted nationally. This video of the beating would be seen by everyone with a television.
A story that might never have surfaced if someone hadn't picked up his home video camera. We've all seen the pictures of Los Angeles police officers beating a man they had just pulled over.
A lot of people remember, not so much when Rodney was beat up, but when they first saw that video. And that video by George Holliday is arguably the first viral video. And it reached so many people and had such a huge impact. And I just remember being, pretty revulsed by it. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, they're beating a human being to death. And it was really graphic and it was really impactful. A lot of people, I think it for them, crystallized the concept or at least the notion of the time of police brutality.
The early 1990s were a difficult time in South Central LA. Police brutality and racial profiling had been a problem for some time in LA before the King beating, but the King beating was the first time it was caught on video. The 4 white officers involved in the beating represented for many people of color everything that was wrong with the police. On March 7th, 1991, after the beating and arrest, King was freed when the district's attorney's office announced that there was not enough evidence to file a criminal charge. Eyewitnesses continued to come forward with testimonies that contradict what the officers had said in their effort to arrest a man who was combative and attempting to escape. Witnesses said that King was already on the ground when LAPD officers shot him with the stun gun and delivered the electric shock of 50,000 volts. It was also reported that one of the California Highway Patrol officers at the scene pleaded with the LAPD to officers to stop the beating, but was told to stay out of it. King's attorney claimed that if it was not for the Holliday tape, justice would not have been done. On March 15th, in response to the public outrage, the officers involved were indicted by the Los Angeles grand jury in connection with the beating. Chief of the LAPD, Daryl Gates, described the beating as an aberration and says that the officers involved will be punished. Although a trial was held, justice did not prevail. Within minutes of the King verdict and the acquittal of the 4 officers involved in the beating, on April 29, 1992, riots broke out in South Central LA on Florence and Normandy.
At least 20 to 30 young people throwing rocks. You can hear them impacting against cars and against trucks. I haven't seen any police officers coming here, only police.
No justice in America, not for the blacks.
The scene has really gone crazy out here right now.
Tom Bradley, the city's first black mayor, attempted to keep the peace after the verdict, but that was nearly impossible. During the riots, 53 people were killed and over $1 billion in damages were done. People rioted because of the built-up anger and frustration of the recent events. Riots also occurred in San Francisco, Oakland, Las Vegas, Seattle, and Chicago. The riots were not just a collection of random acts. People were speaking out against their oppression, against being held down for so long. The only way they were finally heard was through the extreme acts that came to be called the LA Riots. Peace was, however, eventually restored after President Bush sent the National Guard to reestablish stability in the city of LA. 25 years ago, George Holliday captured a scene on a Sony Handycam that forever changed a city and a nation. By video recording the Rodney King beating, Holliday participated in the first true act of citizen journalism, in which public citizens play an active role in the process of collecting, reporting, analyzing, and disseminating news and information. Since the King video, there have been thousands of incidents that have been documented and put on social media for all to see. These videos were completed not by professional journalists, but everyday people with a camera phone. Citizen journalism has also become a right and responsibility for every individual. It is because of these people taking a stand in society and history that we are able to witness aspects of our world that might have been kept hidden and fight against it.